So I've talked a lot about beginning in club chess, and what club chess is, in effect, is kind of an old guy's club. Um, Now young people come in and they learn to play, and sometimes girls do, and various things like that. But in general, it's a place for people to indulge in chess in a social environment. In the old days, in America in particular, chess was played in pubs. Ben Franklin has written things about it. It was a great time for people to get together and indulge each other in an interesting intellectual game and talk about it, and at the same time cover various social things. And so in the greatest sense, it's a club of people who share hobbies, who enjoy being around each other. As far as serious chess is concerned, a lot of these clubs have their own informal rating systems and club ladders, and they play in competitions against other clubs. And I did all this, and I treasure the days when that happened. I loved my old club, and I went from learning chess to the strongest player in the club, and finally no club at all, which we'll talk about in a second. But one of the problems with clubs is that, in general, people don't use chess clocks. So clubs that use chess clocks are another matter. Now, if people are just getting together to play blitz chess, that's not a real serious endeavor either. And that's what happened at university. Our little chess team, our little chess club, was basically all blitz. And the only time people would play more serious chess was like when they were eating a pizza together late at night or something, and it was at somebody's apartment and not at the club. Because let's face it, if there isn't a clock in chess, chess is nonsense. Now in the old days, there were no clocks even for world championships, and games took days. So what do you do when somebody just moves too slow? Well, you never play with them again. Or you sit there and you cough and you choke and you act all kinds of, and I'm very uncomfortable with like how long they're taking, and you fidget around in your chair and they fidget around in theirs but let's face it, the clock is there for a reason. It's to even the game. If somebody takes twice as long as the other person to move, the rating difference is enormous, and nobody wants to put up with that. And they go to chess club to play a number of games a night, not just one, when they're taking 10% of their time and their opponent's taking 90%. So it's not really serious chess. It's a social activity where you're expected to follow certain norms, and the norms are move in a timely fashion, don't make anybody choke and puke over the fact that you're taking hours to move, and act like you're operating within some sort of protocol. Now, the chess clubs in Europe that I've been to, notably places like Germany and the Czech Republic, are beautiful places that are much more interesting in terms of people's goals and how serious they are. They have little lectures, they have beautiful, memorabilia and paintings and various things that have been achieved over the years, and tributes to their own grandmasters. And at least in some of these, there's actually uh, tap beer. And it's like almost voluntary how much you pay, and like for the club and for the time together. And actually, the times that I've spent there, I've treasured. They're wonderful. The people are intelligent. I truly enjoyed the times that I've spent there. So, in a greater sense, they've taken the original of what it originally was like in America, and kept it in an old European fashion. Now, it's a place to begin and a place to treasure in your heart. But there's a thing called prison chess, and it really bugs people who know how to play chess. And I've played people who've been in prison, and who even wanted to argue with me and get threatening and violent over things like en passant that they were sure weren't legal. And the fact is that prison chess is a horrible thing. It's a number of people who've gotten together and developed a style that is endemic to incarceration or something, where they don't know what they're doing, and they practice take backs and threats and various things. And in some sense, club chess in the very beginning is a little like prison chess. Nobody has risen very high in club chess. They've gotten, their highest players are often Class A players. I'm not talking about the clubs that get together solely for the purpose of tournaments and organize so that they have a place to play important tournaments, and so that they have strong players together. But they also tend to play each other so much that they understand each other's styles and openings, And so everybody has some sort of scouted idea, and you're never going to leave that small pond, that entropy, that, it's like having a limited gene pool to draw on, and pretty soon everybody's cousin. So there's only so strong you're going to get playing in a club, and then when you get finally strong enough to graduate from the club, you don't want to go back and play in the club, because playing weaker players makes you weaker, and it's an insulting, horrible thing. But there are clubs that I attend occasionally that I won't play in, and frankly, I don't want to be in a position of giving lessons all the time. Now, some people enjoy that. Some people want to go and they just want to give everybody else lessons, and I'm the king of the club, and But I don't. I take chess as an artistic endeavor. I want to create some sort of artistry out of what's going on in a game. So the fact is that when you play weaker players, you get weaker, and when you play a lot of blitz players against weaker players, it gets ridiculous. So it's a place to begin and a place to treasure in your heart, and that's basically the gist of club chess as we know it now.